commissioners of the Indian Administrative Service, and I'm so happy to see a house full. And although this hall looks small, but it has a large seating capacity. So, and there's so many women. My eyes are always searching. Women, how many are there? I'm told 36. Is that so? 32. Oh, and the Royal Bhutan Civil Service officers. I extend a very warm welcome to our Bhutanese friends and ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be amidst you to inaugurate the appreciation course in parliamentary processes and procedures being organized by the Bureau of Parliamentary Studies and Training of the Lok Sabha Secretariat. Let me take this opportunity to felicitate all of you on joining the prestigious Indian Administrative Service. Your selection is an opportunity for you to serve the people of this great nation. I'm glad that we have with us the officer trainees of Royal Bhutan Civil Service too. I extend my greetings to them. As civil servants, you must understand the philosophy, values, and principles of the democratic polity in which we live. What binds our nation together is the enduring strength of our Constitution and our abiding faith in democratic principles. Our Parliament is the cornerstone of our democracy, reflecting the diverse interests of our populace. It is here that contradictory views are discussed and debated and a consensus evolved. These are then crystallized into laws, policies, and programs for governance of the country. The control of Parliament over the finances of the nation further underscores its preeminence. Presentation of budget, including the demands for grants for approval by the Parliament, is a constitutional obligation on the executive. No tax can be levied or collected except by the authority of law. No expenditure can be incurred from public revenue without the authorization of the Parliament. The primary object of democracy is to ensure that the governance is in accordance with the wishes of the people. Hence, the institution of Parliament has been entrusted with the mandate of keeping a constant vigil over the executive. Executive accountability is aimed at ensuring that the government of the day delivers for public good to the best of its ability, and the executive power is not misused or abused. With a view to making the executive constantly receptive to the expectations of the people, we have evolved intricate parliamentary procedures and practices so that issues of crucial concern to the people can be raised, debated, and redressed. These include parliamentary questions, calling attention, special mentions, adjournment motions, confidence and no confidence motions, half-an-hour discussions, etc. Our intricate system of parliamentary committees enables the members to closely scrutinize the policies and programs of the government. Above all, Parliament serves as an interface between the people and the government. Today, we enjoy the unique distinction of being the largest democracy in the world. Several countries which initially adopted the democratic form of governance were unable to sustain it and have shifted to alternative modes. It is the enthusiasm, faith, and participation of our people that has not only nurtured our democracy but has also strengthened it. Peaceful coexistence and progress of all communities in a multilingual, multi-religious, and multicultural country like ours during the past 6.5 decades has been our most significant achievement. 15 successful general elections indicate the maturity of our parliamentary polity. Yet, it is also a fact that we are still grappling with the challenges of poverty and economic inequality, low level of literacy, malnutrition, lack of basic health care facilities, etc. Apart from the objective of inclusive development, we are required to aim at higher growth while addressing the infrastructure deficit and ensuring adequate investment in human capital to reap the demographic dividend. A host of issues related to upliftment and development of our specific human resources, such as youth, women, children, and senior citizens, and downtrodden sections of our society, are required to be focused on. Nation building warrants a strong coordination between the Parliament, the executive, and the public functionaries, as they are all integral partners in this process. While the responsibility of legislation and policy formulation is shouldered by the Parliament, the onus of its execution lies on the executive and the civil servants. Our Parliament has enacted several forward-looking legislations, like the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act, Protection of Civil Rights Act, Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act, Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act, and the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. However, a law is only as effective as its implementation. It is here that you have to play a crucial role. You have to assist the government in accomplishing the complex task of development and administration. You must remember that in a democratic setup, the governing institutions have to be accessible, inclusive, and transparent. They have to be responsive to the hopes and aspirations of the people and address their concerns. As officers, you are committed to observing the highest standards of dedication, professional excellence, and sensitivity. You must ensure efficient administration with utmost transparency and accountability at all levels in public service, ensuring that the benefits of progress reach the remotest corner of our country equitably, including the underprivileged and downtrodden sections of society. During the course of your career, you will often be interacting with our members. You may also have to appear before parliamentary committees to explain governmental policies and various acts of omission or commission. It is important to understand that each member represents the people of his electorate and voices issues close to their hearts. Proper courtesies must be accorded to them, and their views must be given due weightage. This appreciation course will provide you an opportunity to meet with eminent parliamentarians and senior officials. You will get valuable insights into the functioning of the Parliament. I extend my best wishes to you as you embark on the challenging task of nation building. I hope each of you will be an agent of change and usher in socio-economic transformation. This course has been organized at the most opportune moment. At the moment, today in fact, we have begun the second part of the budget session. You're aware of it. And I mentioned about the budget and the mandate that the Constitution has given to the Parliament to control the purse strings of the country. That's the most important function of the Parliament. And the other important function is, of course, the legislation. And I mentioned here that in a democracy, we are very fortunate that we are the inhabitants of a country with such a long history of civilization and culture, and also a comparatively long history of a functioning democracy. We are a young nation, but after we started with the freedom, independence of all those countries which were under the British rule. There was a chain reaction after India got independence. And there's so many countries, in fact all the countries in Asia and in Africa, who were British colonies, which were British colonies, subsequently got their independence. And since they were very familiar with the Westminster system, as Rashid Alviji had mentioned, all of us adopted the Westminster model. But as you must have noticed, in most of the countries, and also in our neighboring countries, this has not succeeded. But we, despite the very large geographical entity that we are, in spite of the population which is called the Malthusian nightmare, despite the complexity of a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-religious, multi-linguistic nature of our society, despite the very deep fissures of inequality existing, despite the discriminatory nature of the abominable caste system that we continue to carry with us, despite all this, we have succeeded with our experiment in democracy. And we are respected the world over, we are admired the world over for having succeeded in this. They all marvel when I go to, you see, apart from the developing nations, when I go to the developed countries and countries which have great faith, unwavering faith in democratic values, they all wonder and hold us in awe as to how we have managed to have this. And I give full credit. Who would you give full credit for this? Who do you think in India should be given the credit for succeeding in having democracy here? Who would you like to give the credit? Pardon? Yes, the people. And in the people who are normally termed as the have-nots. Rashid Alviji, the have-nots. The people in the villages, people living on the fringe of the society, people living on the periphery of the urban India, they are the ones, and others also, but they are the ones that despite the very hard life and the sufferings they go through, they are so assertive of the faith that they have, the trust that they have in democracy. And why they have it? Why do you think they have this faith and trust in democracy? Why do you think so? Would you tell me?
Because it is functional.
Pardon?
Because it is functional.
They have made it functional. I would like to share it with you because I think it may not be the final answer. You can think about it. That democracy is a great leveler. You see, a person who lives in great wealth and has tremendous power, has one vote. And the person who has nothing, his next meal is not assured, he has one vote. And people who are very mighty, when the election comes, they go to his door to ask for his vote. He's empowered. Democracy empowers the one who has been sidelined, who's been pushed to the margin. Democracy empowers him. And that's a heady feeling. And you know, when we hold our elections with 714 million voters, more than the voters you have in entire Europe and America put together. And that is when I say that we in the world create the largest level playing field. No other country creates a level playing field as large as we create. So that is, his stakes are there. So that is why he ensures that this democracy functions. And all of us who want, you'll have to take sides. It's a difficult choice. Every day, every hour of your career, you'll have to be taking sides and making choices and difficult decisions. On one side, you'll have people who have nothing. On the other side, you'll have people who have everything. And invariably, you'll have to be taking decisions to side with the person who has nothing. This is what as IAS, the steel, what is it called? The steel frame? The steel frame? Yes, this is the steely decision that you'll have to be taking every moment of your career now onwards. And you see, our parliament enacts the laws. But it's a very close relationship that we have with you. It's not just that you will be coming here when we have the committee meeting. So it's not just that you're coming here as probationers for this BPST training. I think it's a very close relationship because we are enacting the laws. But laws mean nothing. They're just in the books. It's you who bring them alive. You have to make these laws effective, implement them. So how powerful you are. How much country is looking towards you. How important your role is. So it is difficult, it is challenging. We have the brightest, the most competent, most capable, who have entered, who have gone through a very rigorous, a very tough competition and come with with uncompromising commitment. So it's a difficult thing. I will paint no rosy picture for you. Please. It's a very difficult, very challenging work, and if you will not do it, if you will not shoulder this responsibility, who else will? Who else is so bright, and who else is so competent, and who else is so committed? Tell me. So it's difficult, it's challenging, but it's worth its while because it will take your country forward. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.